Please drink responsibly. This video is intended for audiences of legal drinking age only. Do not share this content with anyone under the legal purchase age. Never drink and drive. Other than that, enjoy the show.
Drink me.
Huh?
Drink me.
What?
Come on and drink me.
Okay, if you say so.
Oh yeah.
Beer Talks. Hey, I'm your host Derek. Welcome to episode 1 of Beer Talks. Just so you know, before we start, I'm not endorsed by any beer companies, or neither am I promoting any beer companies. So, if you see me drinking a beer, which you will, you just didn't you? Right here, right now. Some good beer. This is Excelsior, by the way. It's cheap beer, but it's good beer. So even though you see me drinking beer throughout the episodes, because after all, it's beer talk. I'm not in any way sponsored or promoting any of these beer companies. I just like to drink. Am I alcoholic? No way. And as it says at the start of the video, be responsible with your drinking and only drink at the legal age. And don't do anything stupid. But either way, let's get on with the show. So, what's on the agenda today? Well, part of my structure when it comes to Beer Talks is to answer some questions, to talk about some news, to provide a challenge, and see if I can accomplish it. And lastly, to provide a quote of the day. It's not easy doing this, when you're a parent. I'm an average guy. I work 50 to 70 hours a week sometimes. I work night shifts, a average job. But considering the circumstances at the moment with my current lifestyle, with where I'm at in life, having to be a family man, I have to manage my finances. I have to be creative. I have to look at my balance every week, have a spreadsheet where I manage all my finances. So I'm your average guy. I do like the little luxuries every now and then, drinking beer, smoking cigarillos. I recently started smoking cigars. And to be honest, I was very excited at first. But then I gave it a go. And I thought, is that it? What did I pay all that money for? Well, thank God, it'll be once for me. Once is enough. Because after smoking cigars today, I won't be doing it ever again. Can't believe I said that, but why does it even know? Anyways, let's get over the show. So, first question. So, as a parent, can you tell us what has been the most difficult part? Well, so far, it's been having to sacrifice most of my time raising children. That means, for example, when you finish all your work, you clean the house, you fed the kids, you want to relax, you play with them for a bit, you want to finally sit down. What ends up happening? Okay, so you spent about 1 or 2 hours cleaning the home, right? Or a particular area like the lounge, or the dining room, or the kitchen, or what have you. Within 10 minutes, those rooms are a wreck. The kids turn your house upside down. Well, my house in particular. And not only that, just when you think they've run out of energy, they want to use what energy they have left. In fact, they end up having even more energy towards the end of the night. Then end up having even more energy towards the end of the night, whereby they want you to be involved. Despite having siblings, they want you to play. You're tired. You want to relax. You've had a long day. And yet the kids have not finished playing. But that's just life, isn't it? So as a parent, the most difficult part for me is not having time to rest. You know, at the beginning, when the children were born, I would barely even sleep, barely 1 or 2 hours sleep a day. And this would go on for weeks, because when you have a newborn baby, the baby needs to be constantly fed, constantly changed. I'm there disinfecting milk bottles. I make about 6 a day, 6 every few hours or whatever. I spend half an hour each time. But it just, the waiting period, the repeat process. And on top of that as well, like, when you have a newborn baby, they cry all the time. They don't really sleep often. Because they need constant feeding. It's just a lot of work, But you know what? Thank God my last baby, my last daughter, she was relatively easy to deal with. She would sleep for long hours. So, question 2. What country would you like to visit and why? I would like to visit Japan.
Banzai!
Why? Because I'm interested in in samurais, in ninjas. I like anime. I've been watching Ninja Scroll, Dragon Ball Z. Ninja movies, action, drama. Japanese drama is very interesting. And Japanese music too. Japanese music is pretty good too. Like if you can listen to the introduction song to Yu Hakusho or The Ghost Detective, that's amazing. And You Are Shark, from the introduction song from Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken. So Japanese music, traditions, up until this day, like the Japanese haven't really changed their traditions. They won't give up their space for anyone. They won't change for anyone. And you go to that country, very respectful. At least from what I've seen, anyway. You go when people go onto a train, everyone who's on their phones, it puts it on silent. Don't speak on the phone. They're like texting or watching videos or what have you. It's quiet. It's wonderful. It's peaceful. And then they have the bowing. They have the honor, the respect, and it's clean as well. Unlike some places, they're not gonna say what, where. I want to try and keep it as neutral as possible. But Japan, I'd like to go. And who knows, maybe get to see or speak to any last remaining or ninjas or samurais. So, question 3. Tell me about a frightening experience you've had. Well, years ago when I was a young adolescent, I'm 34 now, but when I was about 19, me and my old friends, we went to an abandoned hospital, around my area, because an old friend of mine said that he went there in the middle of the night, experienced ghost activity. And so, me being the fool, me being a curious cat, I wanted to tag along when an opportunity became available, when my old friends would next go to that abandoned haunted hospital. So I went there one night. There was about 5 of us. And I was frightened. It was like almost midnight. And then, well, basically, to put it in a nutshell, when we got there, we went up. I remember going up the first flight of stairs. It's pitch black, and me and my old friends could hear footsteps running up from behind us. All of us turned around, saw no one, and I was at the back of the line. As we were going up the middle of the stairs, and we all ran up. I could hear the footsteps run right past me. And then when we finally made it to like the first floor, we was all separated. Right, there was a distance between each other, and I felt someone touch me on my shoulder. So I turned around, and no one was there, man. I never forget that. That's frightening. So we searched the building. We made a way to the top floor, all the way back down to the ground floor, and was in a hallway, and was right near the children's ward. And I remember, like, the floor is dusty, right? The floor is dusty. I saw footsteps running towards me. You could see the dust lift up off the floor. Again, I was frightened, so we ran away. I remember running into the children's ward, and I heard a scream, like a woman scream. There's no women amongst us that night. It was so close to us as well, and yet no one was there. Whether it was a real person or not, or a freaking ghost, I have no idea. But either way, it was still a great experience after that. It's worth going to that haunted hospital for that experience. I went there one time, soon after with another friend of mine, but we didn't make it past the ground floor. Like, we didn't go up to the first floor, unlike last time, because it was just me and one friend, compared to the previous time when there's me and like 5 friends. So I felt like a lot more safer. You know what I mean. But either way, it's a fun experience. I'll probably never do something like that again. And I live to tell the tale. Okay, so number 4, am I a cat or a dog person? All right, so despite being raised with a lot of dogs, growing up in my mum's household, that's my daughter. I still prefer cats. I had 3 cats in particular. One of them, a black cat called George, was my favorite, an outdoor cat. Even though he spent most of his time outdoors, he'd come back, he'd kill rats that are in the area, he'd be affectionate, come in when it was cold, especially during the winter, thank God. He lived a long life, and he would like massage my chest, he would purr, bump his head against mine, and then just go to sleep right next to me. Very loving cat. And I do miss him. Dogs are great, even though I've been raised mostly with dogs. They're a bit too needy, in my opinion. Some people are like that, like the constant attention. Me, not really, no. Yeah, I don't like the constant neediness, the constant attention. I like to have my own space, be part of my own company, enjoy my own company. So yeah, cats are more my preference. And at some point in the future, when my children get older, I'll probably adopt a cat, a black one, just like George. An outdoor cat, not indoor cat. No way. Indoor cats become lazy. I had one called Tinkerbell. It was a Himalayan, from what I remember. That cat just became lazy. It was fine, it was fair at first, It stayed indoors for far too long, wasn't running around, just eating, resting, wasn't doing much. Just became fat, became lazy. Wouldn't even help catch any pests that were around the area, in like the back garden, like rats or mice or whatever. But George, even though he went a distance out in the open, traveling, going on his adventures, he'd come back, he'd catch pests, kill them, bring them into the house as gifts. Even though that's disgusting, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's much appreciated. But either way, that's my answer, and I don't think I'm going to change that. Not for a long time. I have to be convinced otherwise. But so far, cats are the one. My go-to pet, my comfort pet. But I don't have any in the household now. In the future, when the kids get older, I'll eventually buy them a cat. So, number 5. What is dumb advice you tried and tested? Okay, so years ago when I was on a date, I wanted to know how to impress my date. Yeah. So I was listening to like pickup artists, like reading articles, trying to figure out what I can do to improve my conversation skills to make myself more interesting. But keep in mind, when I did have a date going on at this time, I was unemployed. I was on job seeker allowance. I was living at home with my parents still. I did finish college, but I wasn't really going anywhere in life. I was actually too afraid to work, and I didn't have much of a personality. But I just trying to develop myself in whatever little way I could. So, anyways, I was reading about how to impress women through pickup artist articles, and so one of the advice I was given: women like to talk, man. They like to talk. So ask them a lot of questions. Make them do most of the talking. So what did I do in preparation for my date? I memorized a lot of questions, at least 50 questions. So the date came, and what ended up happening was I was asking one question after the other, and on and on and on and on and on and on. I didn't really say much. Plus, I didn't really have much going on, too. I wasn't really an interesting guy. All I could really do was ask questions. I took that advice way too literally. And, well, let's just say my date got sick of talking. She wanted to hear more about me, what I got to say. But I wasn't thinking about that. All I was thinking in my head was, this woman just needs to talk more and more and more and more. So that way she gets all the attention and thinks, wow, what an impressive guy. Well, after that date, she never saw me again, never spoke to me again. That was the end of that. So, man, stop asking so many questions. It doesn't work. Huh? What time is it? It's unusual news time. So, what have we learned this week? What have we discovered? Well, according to the New York Post, it does turn out that alligators do live in the sewers after all. Who would have thought? That was a myth, right? Well, it turns out that myth has been busted. You would have guessed. So next time you go to the sewer, you need to be aware, right? Watch out for any alligators that might be in your territory. And God be with you. Hopefully you'll survive.
Get ready for the 1 minute challenge.
Well, either way, this has got to be done. This is part of the show. It is 1 minute challenge time. So, because first impressions count, and I want to show that I'm a willing participant, a man of my word. So I've come up with a challenge, right? So I've got literally 1 minute to eat 2 chilies. And these are very spicy. And me, being the white guy that I am, not really used to spicy food, these will be the death of me. Hopefully I'll be okay saying that word. I just said it. So I got 1 minute to eat these 2 chilies, these 2 green chilies. They're very spicy. My wife loves them. Me, I'm not so keen. In fact, I rarely eat this stuff. But for the sake of the first impression, to show you that I'm a man who's willing to take risks, I'm going to eat these chilies. I'm going to swallow them. And well, let's just see how it goes. Okay? So, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Yeah. Need more beer. Yeah. My God. Thankfully, I only got to do this challenge once. Never again, man. If I had a ghost chili pepper, I'd be finished. You'll be seeing RIP the next day. Yeah. Nasty that. My God. Challenge complete. Well, to finish off, I want to end this video with the quote of the day. The quote of the day. So, C.S. Lewis wrote in The Four Loves, friendship is unnecessary. Like philosophy, like art, it has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which add value to survival. I want you to like and subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, whether you love it or hate it. I can take it. I got thick skin. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I would really appreciate your support by getting involved with the channel. But until next time, take care and God bless.